Hello all and welcome to F1 2017 round numero. Who are we on? Lord Gaben. Why are we on him? So should we do? Right. Okay. Looks like there's a few people just in different cars than what we'd normally be used to, but that's not the end of the world. So I'm trying to remember all my buttons. Oh, there's a given snow gone. What's happening here? Z takes us a long way out in the middle of nowhere. Very weird first qualifying here, it must be said. Abel's in the pink car. He's in the right car. Right car. Right car. Gibbs back in the pits. Luckbeck's in the fine car. Who knows what's happening? Not me. But anyway, let's do some qualifying. Eh? Kip sets the fastest lap of the race. Enigma beats him by 2 seconds, and Alex Berber beats him by a few tenths as well. Let's get this up while we're looking at it because I prefer the gap. Oh, can only do the leader. That's a bit crap. And we'll do best. Why not? Anyway. As you can see there, our lap times Abel from Aiden, from Alex Berbo, from Enigma, from Kip, from Blackbeck, from Millix, who is going down the back straight in a Ferrari, which he said, and that's fine. We'll obviously score him the points to Red Bull. Should probably mix up on the best, but that's fine. Anyway, into the final little slow section now by this guy. And he hits the apexes really nicely. A bit wide maybe on that penultimate one, and now into the final. How's he going to hit that? Quite nicely, it looks, and goes across the line for P5. So I don't even know who that was, sorry. Z-Tykes going round. What's up here? Oh. I really don't understand this game sometimes, but anyway. Z-Tykes now through the Magnussen Beckett's area. Of the track now back onto the higher straight.
Spinning pit line, but whatever.
And GTX rage retires from the session. That's probably why. I don't even know where that is. Somewhere near the end of the lap? Looks like it. Anyway, Z-Tykes now coming across the line. He goes 11th with 28 seconds behind the leader. Not ideal, it must be said. Not ideal. Milk goes across the line, stays P5. I like Beck probably going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. Z-Tykes will probably go out for another one. Why is Gimp still in the pits? It's a bit unusual. A bit unusual there, but Z-Tykes' lap looks quite a bit better. I presume he spun somewhere on that lap, and that's why it's so far off the pace. But coming down now, hanging straight into the final sector, he's looking a little bit more on pace. He's currently the only driver on a lap. Gimp's left the session. No problems for him, is it? Seems a bit unusual, but anyway, now round the final few corners, he goes across the line, and he's only 4 seconds off. So that's not ideal actually for me. He's not doing great. It must be said. Not doing great. Not sort of the laps you'd expect from him. As he's still, as Gimp's still in the garage, don't think he's connected. Actually, well, the only man into the 27s, he's on an out lap. To the little ghosting thing, which I must admit I don't like, but it's their own, I guess. Enigma. A bit of a weird way to cross the line there, getting a little bit more warmth out of his tyres. Why is he still on a warm-up lap then? Oh, because it's not actually... Oh, you idiot. That's because they both end with 2 right-handers. It's like, oh, I can't tell the difference. He was on the old pitch straight. Apparently he's now not on his out lap. F1, ladies and gentlemen, F1. At least it's not got a terrible low, and he's back into the... Oh, no, he's not back into the pits, okay. An interesting line. And now he revs up to actually cross the line and start his flying lap. So let's ride on board as he goes round the first corner. Flat out through there, and flat out through the second little dink as well. Now breaking around the 100-meter boards. Getting it down low, staying in 4th actually, that's a bit higher than I was expecting. Maybe knock it down to 3rd here, very far off the apex there. Not a great one, but he's flat out through there, as to be expected. Revving the car out, over the blue line actually, so it's a bit interesting. Now braking about 50, get the car turned in. Down to 4th, and probably down to 3rd here. No, he likes his high gears, so he does. There's Enigma. Probably why he keeps his tyres in such nice shape, but probably not the best in qualifying conditions. Now down the old pit straight that looked like the first one on the time we watched them from the camera before. Flat out through there, probably could have carried a bit more speed. He must have lifted a little bit or something. But nice through there, flat. And oh, a huge whack of understeer, and it's really thrown him off there, and that lap is going to be cancelled, I presume. Or at least he will cancel that lap. Let's watch Abel through these sections. You can see he's a lot more stable.
I think so, yeah.
Well, he hits a huge bit of understeer there, actually.
Yeah, that's me.
And then, now carrying the speed through. Let's reply to Thingy. Sorry, why is he offline now? Seems to be having a few issues, but anyway. Abel through the final few corners, very nicely and tight through there, getting the car turned in nicely. And across the line, sets a faster lap by... Wow, that is consistency. So bang on the exact same lap, almost. And he retires. He thinks that's good enough. But it probably is. Let's watch Umberto. He's got a long way to go towards Milik. So it's going to be difficult for him to overturn that gap, but I'm sure he'll give it his best shot. It'll be difficult. But Aiden in P2, by the way, that's very good going. Beating Alex Burbo currently. Very slow through there in comparison, Umberto. We could have carried a lot more speed, but now across the line, it goes P4, so who can say that? Alex Burbo. Gotta think he's normally a bit further up there. Umberto retires after that lap as well. Alex Burbo crosses the line and does not improve. Umberto's car there just lying about. Milik probably on a fast lap now. V6 good as well, it's a bit wide. Alekbek looks like he's on a warm up. Enigma retires from the session as well. Let's watch Milik. I see he's now coming past the old start finish straight. We're flat through here. Oh, it sounded like he lifted a little bit there. It's very safe actually there from Milik, which is a little bit unusual. He's got 2/10 to find and gain 2 positions, so definitely do, but very wide. Oh, it's terrible line through there. That's another lap ruined. Kip's looking slow. V6 gone, looks like he's about to retire. Lekbeck, normally a bit further up to be fair to him. Struggling a little bit this race. Couldn't make it to the last race either, which is unfortunate. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to have to try and get out of the way. Actually, Aiden's on a lap. And so is Alex Burbo. Alex Burbo was the furthest along, so we'll right on board with him. We'll go back to our telecom cast. If I can, please. There we go. Back to our Telemachum cast. And we'll see what's happening. We'll enable that. Why not? Actually, nah. That's not. That better? Nah. Should we? Yeah, we'll keep it on. Why not? It looks cool. Probably turn it off for the actual race. But as he crosses the line, he goes Paul with that lap. Great laps from Alex Burbo. And it looks like Aiden's actually been overtaken by Olekbek on this lap. Really not a good lap for Aiden then. Because Olekbek was about a second behind. So Aiden's pushed down to 3. Olekbek goes up to P7. And Aiden obviously does not improve. Kip goes into the pits. And that is your qualifying session.
Thank you, Aiden.
It's Alex Burbo from whoever's in P2. It was the Force India driving Abel in P2 from Aiden in P3. From Wombeto in P4, from Enigma in P5, Milik in P6, Olekbek in P7, Kip in P8, V6 gun in P9, GTX Rage in P10, ZTX, and Esteban Ocon in P12. Let's take a field screenshot of that. And I shall go refill on my water and stuff, as you can probably hear my voice isn't in the best condition. So we'll try our best and we'll see how the race goes. Shall see you in a bit.
Tell me your position. P3. Good.
Hello and welcome back to Silverstone here. It looks like Alex Burbo has gone very fast here on this outlap actually. He's started to pull a gap to the guys behind Abel. 5 seconds behind, and Jaden's right up behind him trying to keep some tyre warmth in. Beto's a long way behind as well. These two have been disqualified for some reason. I presume there's a bit of contact, but apart from that, oh, and Sludge is really far behind. And who's that behind them? GTX Rage? It is. It takes spun! How? ZTX, how do you spin on the outlap? Actually, I've got you on mute, so you can't even answer. Good effort, like. Anyway, let's go back to the front of our grid. Alex Burble, the two A's, Alex Burbo and Abel, hold out the front row. Toro Rosso from Force India, from Mercedes of X, Aiden B. So really 3 A's. Wombo and P4 in case you can't see, but we are up to now 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. Our race leader gets a good start. Aiden's getting absolutely moshed around the outside and up the inside. Everybody's going everywhere, and now we get a terrible view. And it looks like one better there might be able to go for a move on Aiden into turn 3. Aiden squeezes him out, and DNTX Ray, not DNTX Ray, just teammate V6 Gun is looking like he can got the inside and does it. Oh, Aiden gets a big tank slapper there. And has spun by the looks of the things on there. Very slow. It looks like he could go back to the back of the grid all the way down. That is not ideal. Maybe it looks like he slowed a few people as well. I'm not too sure. But Milix and Wombedo going side by side here. The Ferrari and the Renault. He slots in behind the Renault, and Wombedo now could be under pressure from a Lekbeck. Not a great overtaking corner, it must be said, but you never know. We'll go to Wombedo. Wombedo runs very wide, and just presumably with the dirty air, and Lekbeck now going to go up around the outside to the inside and pushes Wombedo wide. Not a great place really to try and hold it around the outside, but at least he tried. It was well worth an effort. As you can see now, the grid coming down after this first lap, and are trying to close up, it looks like. Aiden really plummeted there from that incident there in the first lap, and he's already been given a corner cutting penalty on the first lap. Alex Burbo says the fastest lap as to be expected as P1. Aiden really needs to start looking for overtakes. Oh, and Wombedo goes... That is a weird crash. It's really weird. But anyway, Wombedo goes wide. And then that gives the position back to Aiden. As we now go and look at our leaders. Talking about our leaders, there's actually been a move there. Alex Burbo on Abel around the left field, I believe that is. But I'm not too sure. I don't really trust my Silverstone knowledge. Now into the old first corner. Very nice camera angle that, actually. I can respect that. As they go into the Maggots and Beckett's complex now. Every car does seem to get a whiff of understeer through there. You can always see it there in the angle they've taken, but he's lost a bit of time, Isabel, through that section. And he's not quite in the region of being under pressure from Enigma. I don't think, unless he makes a mistake. But he's definitely there or thereabouts. And that lockup probably didn't help, and now Enigma has closed up quite considerably. He's within striking range, I believe, as DRS is going to be added on this lap to aid in that assistance. Though he doesn't have a great exit there onto the back straight. And DNTX Rage looks like he's made a mistake. He's dropped 2 places, 3 positions. As we talk a bit more, and he's down to the back of the grid actually now. So definitely a mistake there somehow. As we're watching this battle for the top 3, it's Alex from Abel from Enigma. Abel not quite in range to make a move. It's a solo section. It's not the best place because the corners are a little bit weird for the overtaking, but Alex takes a weird line for that. He goes very wide and tries to cut back. It's presumably makes him quicker down this main this old start-finish straight and then into here, because you don't brake actually for ages around here. You don't brake through there if you're driving fast. You don't brake through this next corner. Maybe you do a little lift through here with high fuel, but into here's your first braking zone really out from that long corner. And obviously you're trying to drive corners while you're doing it. Obviously it's not completely flat, but it's still a long way to go. He's looking for a move. He's got DRS now down the hanger straight, but no opportunity presents itself, so he's stays behind, hits the apex, hits the other apex, and maybe gets a little bit of a cut there. I'm not too sure, but around the final corner now, loses a bit of time again. Just to start all over again, it looks like 6 tenths back. Definitely doable. He gets a nice drive through here, which he's hit the apex a bit better than the car in front of him. He's not focused on that and hits that apex nicely as well, Isabel. And around the flat-out corner onto the back straight. Wellington, I believe it's called.
Jeez, you're back at in.
If I know it right. And hits that apex nicely. Now he needs to hold on the power as fast as he can now down here. And he could definitely get an opportunity to see a move. Let's see, round the flat-out first corner. Just about keeps it in tuck with the line. And Kip and Sodge changing positions from P9 and P10. Now, driving through the fast section, he's 5/10 back. It's still a long old way to come from. And it's not a heavy braking zone into this corner
was
either.
too boring, you know, so I made it a bit different.
So, unless he now tries to make a good move, it's not going to happen, and doesn't. Into there is where I thought he might go for one. It would make a bit of sense if he gets close enough through that quick right-hander, but with the dirty air, it's going to be difficult to get. It's not the best track for overtaking. GTX Rage and Kip must have been side by side there for quite some time, because those were very close. Z takes us a long way back, actually. I wonder what's happened to him. Oh, Zabel gets a little bit of wheel chopping he needed to do there, and he's lost a bit of time because of it. Let's go and watch some other little fight here. Kip and GTX Rage. As they're coming through now, Kip can make a move into here and doesn't. From the camera angle I could see, he looked like he looked for it a bit, tried to sell the fake, but to no success. And then runs wide. GTX Rage on Sodge. Sodge is in the wrong car, isn't it? Yes. Well, that's confusing. But anyway. At least we got back in. He runs very wide there. GTX Rage doesn't actually take the best line there to try and make the move. Put him to go wide and then cut back on him. And try and make the move side by side into here. Enigma's very close to Abel as well. They're tightening up there for sure. Let's quickly run back down here. It's not going to be a great overtaking spot, so we'll run back up. See what moves happening there. None. Run back down. And it looks like he's made a mistake there to lose him a bit of time. Enigma sets the fastest lap of the race here in lap 6 of 26. Running around the first two corners. And then hitting all of the apexes. And now they're going to... apparently. Well, they're going to set up in the slipstream and just go for it. Very close there, actually. So they'll bunch up. Enigma's going to take the fast line here. This is going to be interesting. He almost touches the back of a bell. He probably has to lose a bit of momentum because of that. He was almost too close to do that line. But he's still very close to him. And can still definitely make a move. Bit of a weird position to be in, it must be said. Three cars being so close for the top three. As Abel runs a little bit wide. This is definitely the chance here for Enigma. Double slipstream, opening the DRS now. Let's see where he's going to go. He's going to go to the inside. And Abel closes the door on him. And closes the door on the outside as well. And Alex Berber runs wide, so he looks up the inside. It's defense into attack straight away. But nothing comes of it. They stay in the exact same line. Toro Rosso, Force India, Haas, F1 team. Is the order at the moment. Nice camera angle, it must be said. It looks like they maybe even touched there, did Abel and Alex Berbo. They're definitely getting a little bit restless behind him. Lost a few tenths now, and could this be Enigma's chance part 2? No, he's nowhere near close enough.
Who are you talking to?
Nowhere near close enough.
Who did you talk to about the tire wear? And what is this tire wear?
Abel's looking close now, actually. He's looking a little bit closer than Enigma is to him. See how it's going to come out of this corner then. Abel actually is closed up, being closed up onto by Enigma quite a bit. Enigma's going to be on the outside here. Oh! A bit of a swipe there. And he's looking now to the outside of Alex Burbo, who gets hung up to dry. And Enigma goes to the inside. No, he doesn't. He keeps his cool finish head and stays in behind. Abel now under pressure. Alex Burbo pulled out a 6/10 lead now. Kip's got a 3-second penalty, and that wasn't a great line from Enigma. So he's going to have lost a bit of time now. And he gets that apex quite nicely. Abel probably set up a bit more of an attacking line, so I don't think Enigma's going to be on the attacking foot. And you can see there the Ferrari just behind, probably getting a bit yummy. He's probably starting to think of a move. Of closing up to these guys. And then thinking about some moves. See, working it in there. Surprised these guys have been going so long without changing positions. Bit wide there from Enigma, but that's what's to be expected when you're behind two cars following them this close. He does seem to get a good run off there. As I say that, he's nowhere near as close as normal, but he did close up the gap on it a little bit. But the problem you have is trying to notice if his Bell's trying to go for a move on it, which has sometimes been happening. He's been focusing on going for a move and not thinking where that Haas car is behind him. As he actually gets a 3-second penalty there, so that'll be an interesting note to make for the drivers, although they won't know that, actually. I think about that. I'll look back into the pits. Already, on lap number 9. I presume he'll go on to a set of softs then to the end. Or at least try to. Maybe he'll go on to the mediums. Who knows? Who knows? Well, Beto as well into the pits. Both drivers looking like it. And talking about looking like it. Haas F1 car on Force India. Is it going to go to the inside? No. Both cars with DRS. Difficult to make a move. It's going to have to be done in the corners here from Enigma. Or does he pit a lap earlier or something like that? Go for the undercut. Or being Enigma, will he go for the overcut? But these two battling has let Alex Burbo get away. If he can get a second, it could mean Enigma can get past, because Abel will not have DRS. Which I'm sure will be nice for him to hear. Alex Burbo does look a lot more confident than he did, especially at the start of the season, where he did make a few costly mistakes as we get into a bit of a lag there, actually. And Abel goes into the pits, and Enigma does not. As now it's oh, and then Aiden gets speeding in the pit lane. For good measure, that is unfortunate. Yellow flags in Sector 2, I wonder whose that's for. Sodge, maybe. No, these two cars now, it's Enigma and Alex Burbo. Enigma looks really close. And Alex Burbo defends to the inside and goes for the squeeze out, but doesn't make it. Enigma on the inside now. Alex Burbo on the outside. They're side by side coming down the old pit straight. Alex Burbo with a bit of a more momentum line, but it's not seeming to help them that much. Actually, he is about a car width ahead, and Enigma tucks in behind. But he gets a better run through there, does he? It's going to be side by side into this section. No, it's not. They're going to be nose to tail. Now he's going to try and get a good run through here, and he does. Almost too good a run. He's right up the backside now. DRS open to the inside. Oh, and Alex Burbo squeezes him out. Does not give him any room there whatsoever. Into the braking zone now. He's a little bit far behind. Will one of them jump into the pits? I wonder. If so, it will probably be Alex Burbo, and does, as the NTX Rage retires from the session. And that is not ideal. Where is Abel? Abel is battling Z-Tykes, actually. It looks like there is Z-Tykes tries to get out of the way. Whoa! What the f... That was a bit weird. I don't know if that was lag. It looked like it. He's gone into the pits now. Has Abel? Did he break his front wing? He did! Oh, so presumably he's broken his front wing on Z-Tykes through Maggots and Beckett's. And it's taken his anger out. Maybe it wasn't lag. Very interesting. We'll have to get the review on that after the race, actually. That was questionable. And Abel's retired from the session as well. Millet runs wide. This race has gone... That takes us up to P4 now. Oh, was it actually... Oh, that probably makes a bit more sense why Z-Takes was trying to hold position. He was just trying to hold it normally. I was wondering why he was so far behind. I didn't think he was that bad. So yeah, by the signs of things, it was Z-Takes was just ahead on track. Presumably he qualified outside the top 10, so he started on the softs. And then was ahead of thing on track. Because Abel's tyres were a little bit fresher, he had the speed advantage. Went for the move through Maggots and Beckett's. And because Z-Takes tyres were a bit colder, he presumably just wasn't going as fast, and he ran into the back of him. And then... yeah. As we see, the top three actually now are coming out the pits. Alex Burbo overtakes them. And Enigma's a long way behind, actually. That undercut there from Alex Burbo really worked a treat. And Millet gets out just ahead of Z-Takes as well. That is very interesting. I want to know what's happened, actually, there. Very interesting. So Alex Burbo now has a bit of a gap.
Z-Tykes in front of me didn't pit yet. Indeed.
So there you go. Confirmation then from a leg back.
Why though?
Interesting. I want to know what's happened there to Enable. I presume that's what's happened, but I'm not too sure.
Well then.
As the gaps now are quite far away. Soon the next battle we're going to see is Alekbek on Z-Takes, unless Alekbek pits soon, which is possible. Burbo sets the fastest lap of the race for good measure. Now, as I said, this battle between Elecbeck and Z-Types has caught up quite fastly. Just newer tyres and all that. And Z-Types, a bit of an interesting one there. I don't know if he was trying to let him pass, and Milik was just trying to go for the gap that would normally be there. A bit weird. Well, anyway, that's happened now. Aiden gets another penalty, as to be expected. Alex Burbo, our race leader at this halfway stage. Not sure we're past halfway now, but who's picking? 1.8 seconds ahead of Enigma in P2. But as I said, that Enigma sets the fastest lap of the race. So he is on a roll at the moment. He did look like he had the pace to overtake Alex Burbo, especially near the end of the last stint. And with newer tyres, he might be able to. Milix as well, staying there or thereabouts. But you never quite know. Sodge gets a 3-second penalty as well there. Which is unfortunate.
Then buy one at the pits.
So Enigma not really pulling in the gap as quickly as I expected, or anywhere near as quickly as I expected. Really. Maybe try to save his tyres and wait for a little bit later. I think we're closing up a little bit on that lap. The gap now 1.5. Once he gets into DRS range, you should be able to close up a little bit faster. And I could suspect that be happening soon, but he's struggling through that slow section, but he does hit the fastest lap of the race, so who am I to talk? He's clearly got a bit more downforce set up for the high-speed areas. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But hopefully this race won't just fizzle out like most F1 races of last year. Hopefully it will actually lead to something. Although, as I say, the way this one's going, it's looking like it might end on a bit of a low note, but all we can do is wait. I'm surprised the tanks are still going round, actually. Those original set of tyres. Fair play to the lad. We'll fall back to about P8, 9 when he does that, and then maybe we can watch him. He'll maybe get a few positions up through the grid. But who knows? Who knows? Only time will tell. Enigma now. So you see, he closes up quite a lot through Maggots and Beckett's. Definitely where his car is suited to. What is the cameraman doing here? He's pissed. You seen there? He closes it up to 1.4. A bit of a weird race this is turning into. Then he loses it all through here again. Well, not actually. Point 4 still the gap. And he closed up by about 4/10 there. Aiden's got his third penalty now, I believe that is. Not ideal, I'm sure, but with a bit of slipstream here, he can maybe close up the gap a little bit more. It does to 1.2. We know he's quick through Maggots and Beckett's. Can we see him in DRS before the end of this lap? We've closed up to a second. He's definitely running a little bit heavy on the rich mix, I presume. And he's exactly on 1, and now he's in to the 1 second zone. 0.8 now. Oh, we know he's fast through here. Gets a nice run out there. Obviously, he's not going to look for a move on this lap, but he gets the DRS, so he'll know he's in striking range soon. Very much in striking range now, actually. Next lap could be the lap. We see some interesting maneuvers happen. He sets the fastest lap of the race as well, which I'm sure is a delight to see Alex Burbo. Now, they go through the sort of stadium section, but not really. Out now, they'll be opening DRS, and he'll be closing up every little bit of the way. Down this straight. Into about 10ths, not huge amounts though. And then we see his line. Sets him up really nicely now for the rest of this rundown. And they could be very close at the end of Maggots and Beckett's, but with the understeer will probably eat up through this area behind the Toro Rosso. He might struggle. Let's see what happens. Gets the car turned in. Oh, it looks very nice. That Haas looks really set up for this race. He's followed that car really nicely. He's about 2/10 behind, within 2/10 now. He's following that car right up close. He goes to the outside now. Round the outside he goes. And was there a bit of contact? Looks like he lost the back end a little bit there. He's had to go to the AstroTurf to lose a bit of time. Close stuff, it must be said, but I don't know if there was some contact there through that corner. I can't even remember the name of it. But they go again. As we can see, if the move is going to be made, we know where it's going to be, really. Although if he stays this close through this area, he might have a chance. Oh, he just has to pump at the wheel a bit there to correct the oversteer. He could scare him out here, maybe, and mess up his line. And he does. Now he could. This is going to be a very good setup move now if he can try and sort something out. Down the back, the former straight Aiden's left the session. I don't know why. He hasn't retired his car, which is a terrible thing to do. So you go down now through Maggots and Beckett's. 1, 2. Braking now for 3. A little tad on the brakes for 4. Oh, he gets a whiff of understeer there. Oh, it's not going to be able to make the move this time around, I don't think. Looks to the inside. Doesn't scare him off, though. Does scare him to make a mistake out wide, though. Could maybe look for a move. Doesn't. Into the slow section now. Or Enigma. Anywhere you can say you could make up some more time, that would be where. But the closest he is, if he's any closer, he's going to be hitting that Toro Rosso, and he doesn't want to be doing that. Now into the braking zone here. Very, very close between these two competitors. Oh, the power now. Very smooth from that Haas F1 car. He's in the slipstream now. Opening DRS. He's going to be able to get alongside, I think. Maybe not. Oh, yes he is. I apologise. Does get across. Alex Berber goes very wide into that corner. It's going to compromise him here, but he plays his car very nice. And forces the Haas not to be able to do the switchback. A very nice move by that Toro Rosso driver. Great bit of defending being shown there. The Haas car trying to scare him out of the way, if anything, right now. It's ruining his own. Go at it, because we know he's fast through this section. And now it's going to be a bit of a struggle to catch back up. To make a move through this area. Doesn't. He'll have DRS though, so he'll be able to get back close within Alex Burbo, but presumably not into a move range. As we move on to lap 21 of 26. Only a few more to go now, Alex Burbo. I'm sure the pressure's building. It's getting closer and closer, but he's fended off for this long. He has been doing a lot of defending this race. It'll be very nice to see as well. As I said at the start of the season, a little bit inconsistent. I'm sure he'll admit that himself. Made a few mistakes, especially in the strategy. The Monaco one might be one he remembers, but this race he's looked a lot calmer than he has on others. Especially, as I said at the start, he did make quite a few mistakes, but it's all a learning curve. Fighting off one of the more experienced. I know he's got a time penalty as I give him all these compliments. The Sloth's joined. I don't even know who Sloth is. I don't know how he joined. But anyway, for another day. Enigma, opening DRS. Alex Burbo going to the outside. It looks like he's going to show him the inside, is he? Yes. Enigma tries to put his nose in, but Alex Burbo says, nope. You're not having any of that line. Milik not really gaining as much as I was expecting though once these two started getting close to each other. Yes, they may be battling, but it's very high speed still. Up 22. Enigma trying to go for a move anywhere, it seems now. Getting a little bit impatient. Opening DRS, not going to be able to make a move on this occasion. Very close though to that Toro Rosso. As the Toro Rosso gets a lot of understeer there, cuts back across. Oh, and gets a little bit on the grass. This is Enigma's chance. Around the outside, does he go? He does not. I don't know. It's very nerve-wracking. He holds off for now. So they're coming up to Aiden's Ghost, which is not ideal. It might actually be a saving grace for Alex Burbo, which is a bit bizarre. He might get DRS off him. And will actually, he's just within the area, isn't he? No, he doesn't. Alright, okay. Very close now. He could go for a move here. Enigma doesn't. That's one of the best places to go for it, especially as he's so close through those two sections. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to send one there. Lap 23 now of 26 laps. Braking on the inside, he's there. Alex Burbo gives him the space, but only just. Very good racing between them both. The Haas car goes to the outside. Maybe going to get a cut back move here. In DRS. To the inside. He's going to get the DRS as well now. Down the Wellington straight. He's got the move done and dusted, but only for now. Lap 23 of 26. Oh, he squeezes him out to the inside. Alex Burbo's still there. He pushes him out wide as well. And he gets back the position. He's fighting for his life and holds it. Enigma could not get it round the outside. And now they squabble for track position. That was not a great move, I don't think, by Alex Burbo. As Enigma now, oh, he's sticking his nose there. He's going to be around the outside for this corner and then to the inside for here. They're somehow still side by side, and Alex Burbo keeps the position. Enigma back into the DRS to the outside. Wasn't actually alongside, but I think he forces Alex Burbo. And as he runs a little bit wide, very close to that Red Bull Toro Rosso car, as you can see. This could be trouble for Alex Burbo. He's had a bad exit through there. Turn 3 is definitely an opportunity for an overtake, especially if you go that defensive into turn 1. Turn 2 is wide. Enigma might already be past. Brakes a little bit earlier. Side by side once again. Alex Burbo, they're in position, but he's taking a tighter line, and Enigma on the back end loses it. Only half though on lap 24. Alex Burbo still in the lead of this Grand Prix. And you can tell these Enigma's been really charging for that overtake, because Milik in the last 2 laps has gained about 3 seconds on these pair. And if they go side by side again, he could be in DRS. Although he's got a 5/10 gap as Alex Burbo now, so you'd like to think he's doing okay. But you never know. It's actually Enigma. His tyres must be in so much better condition than Alex Burbo. On the DRS again to the outside. Alex Burbo taking a very tight line. He's going to swoop round. Enigma gets the position into P number 1. So we switched to Alex Burbo now. Bit of a look up there from Enigma, maybe. Alex Burbo right up behind. Going on to lap 25. 2 more laps remaining of this Grand Prix. Alex Burbo losing time. Hand over fist now. His tyres must be dead. You can see even on the camera there's a little bit of wear on them. From my position of cameraman. And he's lost almost a second now to Enigma. His tyres must be screaming at him. And now he's got the pressure of Milik as well behind him. A valiant effort from him, you cannot deny. A heartbreaking one, it must be said. He's had so many. I do feel for him. He lost out to Enigma in last race as well. It was actually these 3 in the exact same order they are now with last race, now I remember. And me in P4. So, there you go. Probably would have been there again. 21 seconds. I could slot into that gap. But let's not worry about that for now. Let's worry about Alex Burbo and his tyres must be really done, and they are. Milik goes round him. He's lost like 2 seconds almost to Enigma. Would it have been better trying to let Enigma past earlier? It's difficult to tell. You never want to let a competitor go past you, do you? Especially not in a time like this. Halfway through the season now, I don't even know how the standings look. But he's now already about a second behind Milik. His tyres must be screaming at him. Good effort, though. He held that P1 for ages. And there were a lot of pressure from Abel and Enigma mainly. And it's only really in the last lap that his tyres have given up on him. He's lost 2 positions to it, unfortunately. But a good effort nonetheless. Definitely tried. And that is all you can ask for, isn't it? At the end of the day, a great drive by Enigma though. Let's not take anything away from him. Very feisty. And we got the move done in the nick of time. Definitely looked on race pace the fastest out of the three. And he's shown that by coming across the line to win the British Grand Prix. P1 for Enigma, P2 for Millock, and P3 for the man who was in the lead for most of the race, Alex Burbo. The Goodway race wasn't the most exciting, but it was good enough for sure. Olekbek comes across the line now for P4. Wombeto coming into the final section. He's on the medium tyres, which is interesting. He comes across the line for P6. P5, sorry. I'd like change to watch P6, who's Z-Takes, who was involved in the Able incident, and we'll have to find out what that was after the race, and I'll update you before our next Grand Prix. But very interesting. He crosses the line now. V6 gun in P7. Good effort from Kip in P8. He's already crossed the line. And Aiden in P9, who actually DNF'd. And Sodge, who will get P9 because he didn't leave. V6 gun just going to the crazy track there. And he crosses the line there for P something. And yesterday, Milk. We'll say that just before we get to the podium. An Enigma on the top step of the podium. Again. Great effort by him. Good race. Alex Burbo down as... Wait, what? Alex Burbo's down as Russian and I think he's down as German, was it? Can't even see. I presume they must have left then. Yeah, they did. Oh, fuck it up. Why? I'll have to put an ask into that. Enigma from... Yeah, I can't even remember now which way they are. I'll give them an ask to do that, not next time. But from Millock, from... I can't remember. I've actually lost the plot. But anyway, it's been a good race, and I hope you've all enjoyed. Thank you very much.